Dr. the Honorable D. Orlando Smith, Premier and Minister of Finance, Honorable Marlon Penn, Junior Minister for Trade, Investment Promotion and Consumer Affairs, Mrs. Alaverne Smith-Harrigan of Banco Popular, Mr. Dwayne Mason of First Bank, and Mr. Michael Vanterpool of National Bank of the Virgin Islands. The media, staff, good morning. It's a happy time for the Department of Trade here today as we recognize our first ever Trade Entrepreneurial Week. In keeping with the mandate set up by the Government of the Virgin Islands and expanded upon within our vision and mission statement, this week is indeed intended to further develop the entrepreneurial capacity of the territory. Its activities have been crafted to impact upon targeted sectors, including small business owners and the youth. And so I want to make a special recognition to the staff that are here, some of my staff, because it's been really the first of its kind for our department, and it's a massive amount of work. So we are trying our very best to not only inform but entertain, because we certainly believe persons learn better when they're having a good time. So we've taken a long time and a lot of time and a lot of thought into planning this week for the masses. So we thank you officially from the Premier, the Junior Minister, and myself. We're grateful for this opportunity to show off our skills and to show off what is next for the Department of Trade, Investment, Promotion, and Consumer Affairs. And of course, my name is Karia Christopher. I am the Director of Trade, Investment, Promotion, and Consumer Affairs. It's a long name, and I'm certain people will get used to it. Thank you again for your presence, and without further ado, of course, we have to have the endorsement and opening remarks by our Premier, Dr. the Honorable Orlando Smith. Dr. Smith, thank you.
Good morning to everyone in the media and other persons over here. We're all here to celebrate the official launch of Trade Entrepreneurial Week, where we focus our efforts on the development of the small business sector, that is, existing and potential entrepreneurs and our youth. As you know, we have been working diligently to make significant progress in the trade and investment portfolio by advancing plans to provide Virgin Islanders with path to greater entrepreneurship and employment opportunities. We have not only renamed and rebranded the department as the Department of Trade, Investment, Promotion, and Consumer Affairs, but we expanded the department's mandate to focus on entrepreneurial development. Small businesses are very dear to my heart, and my government is always interested in the next new and unique business. In fact, my government is committed to supporting entrepreneurship and small business development. We see this as a critical component of a roadmap in charting the course and position in the Virgin Islands for the future. I firmly believe that if we want to grow this economy, we must expand it by embracing small businesses, the lifeblood and important and growing segment of our community. This reality, ladies and gentlemen, is what propelled me in 2013 to reintroduce and institute a national business program to ensure that there was a dedicated function within government to support and promote entrepreneurship and small business development. My government will continue to support the work of the Bureau to ensure that there is relevant expertise within the Bureau to develop additional programs to support new entrepreneurs with finance, accounting, customer service, marketing, business development, and operations. And most significantly for today, is the development of a resource center that will be housed in the Trade Department. This is where we'll be able to facilitate and effectively manage the programs offered to the local small and medium-sized enterprises. We will continue to partner with the COSME and EU-funded program established and managed by my government to facilitate regional small and medium enterprises development. We want to build and ensure a strong and thriving business sector, and I'm hopeful, especially after attending the ECAMS Kidpreneur Expo, an initiative created by businesswoman Portia Harrigan. Well, just last week, I was able to experience the creative and innovative ideas of young people at that competition, where the talented team presented ideas for small businesses, ranging from sports and food to books to children accessories. The presentations were great, as the team spoke about how their ideas can be nurtured to support the local economy. I also had the opportunity to attend a biz pitch competition last year, an initiative by Mr. Meade Malone. I was amazed at the business initiatives of young people who are not only thinking about sourcing the local market, but the international clientele as well. Let me tell you that youth development remains at the top of my government's agenda. Government cannot do it without you. Together we must assist them in taking their rightful place of the next generation of business leaders. Further, it is through our collective efforts that we will continue to move towards a better, more prosperous Virgin Islands for our people for generations to come. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate Trade and Entrepreneurial Week, I'm encouraging all of us to support the many activities that are planned. This is an opportunity to benefit from the expertise of seasoned entrepreneurs. I congratulate the Junior Minister of Trade and the Director, Ms. Kira Christopher, and her team for coming up with innovative ways of bolstering our small business sector. I hereby now declare Trade and Entrepreneurial Week officially open. I want to also at this point welcome back the Honorable Marlon Penn from his visit to, where was that again? Holland. Because what they were looking at there is examples of how incubation programs work here. When I was in China just a couple of months ago in October last year, I had the opportunity to experience what they do there. Very impressive, and it's a way to help businesses develop, and something we pursue in here. So thank you, welcome back. Okay.
Thank you very much, Honorable Premier. Yes, to piggyback off of what he just said in terms of the Honorable Marlon Penn visiting Amsterdam, we're super happy to have him back, and also we have Sasha Flax from our office who actually went on that trip. A few of us went a couple of months before, so we expect more things to come out of trade, especially in that sector. So great things will happen in terms of the incubator. We've all had a glimpse of what it should look like, so more information to come on that shortly. Without further ado, we have our young and full of energy junior minister, who's no stranger absolutely to the media, Honorable Marlon Penn. Please give him a round of applause as he gives us some brief remarks.
Morning all. Not so young anymore, Director. The rigors of politics, I guess. So I recognize Honorable Premier, the Director, and the team from the Department of Trade, business sector, who are here with us today, the banking sector. You know, we need you to be involved in this process. It's important for money. Business can't run without money. So we need the finance sector to be involved as much as possible. Of course, the media, expecting good stories out of this event. And the persons who will be reviewing this later on tomorrow or today. I just want to sort of reinforce, because the Premier and the Director pretty much outlined a lot of the key areas. But I just want to reinforce the importance of businesses and businesses to the development of our economy. Because we all know it's cliched now that small businesses are the drivers of our economy. And we at Trade and Investment Department have been working hard to find ways to stimulate the business sector in the territory. You heard the Premier talk about some of those ideas, and the Trade Week is one of those ideas. I think I'll take the credit, but the Director did all the work. In terms of really making this a reality, is the Director's brainchild, and it's something that she wanted to see happen. And I think it's a really nice, impactful program that's set up for the business sector in this territory. I'm sure the Director's outlined all the key areas on a later stage in this press conference, but I think it's another way of us trying to bring awareness to the business sector and what the businesses in the BBI have to offer and how we can continue to support the business sector. But in terms of the department and the work that we've been doing, you heard the Premier talk about incubation and the incubator center. That is something that we feel is a key way of sort of supporting and driving the business sector in this territory. We had the fortune to visit a few incubators in Eindhoven, in Holland. And it's amazing to see how the businesses started from 1 person to 20 persons through support and that whole issue and the whole ecosystem, the business ecosystem, and how they nurture and develop each other. And I think that is the kind of environment we want to foster and develop here in the BVI. I think we have the entrepreneurial spirit. We just need to have the support mechanisms to support the businesses in this territory. I think we're well on our way developing those mechanisms. We also talked about the resource center, which is a key component in us training and developing our people. One of the issues that we have is that we've always made available through the Business Bureau the financing to support the businesses. But we fail to put more emphasis on the support sector in terms of how we support the businesses through marketing, through the whole development process, through managing cash flow and all those different tools. So I think we're putting more emphasis on that now going forward. We're putting the programs in place to better support our businesses so that they could be successful. It's not good enough just to give money, but to also offer that follow-up and that support for going on. So the director and the team has been working diligently to put those pieces in place to ensure that the businesses have the support that they need to develop and thrive. But I think it's important for me at this point to recognize the sponsors, one, and I commend the banks for stepping up and offering the sponsorship to assist with this process. But I want to recognize COSME, the COSME program, because it's important because the COSME program is a program that is part of the EU and an EU-funded program. That program has helped us tremendously as we move along on this journey of developing the business sector in the territory. They've offered financial support, technical support in all aspects of our development. We've just recently concluded our investment strategy, where we're planning to develop an investment promotion agency within the Department of Trade. That agency will be responsible for managing the whole aspect of investments in the territory, not just from a local point of view, but the foreign direct investments. So we now have a clear strategy in terms of how we are going to handle investments coming in and investments from within the territory. So COSME was a key driver in helping us to support that vision and that infrastructure that would help us to develop the investment sector in the territory. They also helped us to join this group called CAIPA, the Caribbean Agency for Investment Promotion Agencies, which is a network of agencies from Bahamas to Suriname. And what that allowed us is to be able to have persons who've been in the investment space for a very long time to give us support, give us guidance. We actually had a study tour in Jamaica, which was funded by COSME, to help support us along our journey in developing our investment promotion agency. So there's a lot of good things that came out of this process. So I'm happy that the Premier has a team that is negotiating the whole Brexit situation and how we could continue to be a part of the EU process to continue to help to get this type of support that we've gotten through the COSME program. So again, I'll stop at that point, but I say kudos to the Director of Trade and the staff for the work they've done in developing this Trade Week. I think it's a very impactful week of events. I think the business sector will be much better from this initiative. I specifically like the whole business of the, what's the term? Best of the BVI. I just want us to broaden the categories next year in terms of how we expose, we probably get a little bars involved as well. Well, I mean, those little businesses are the businesses that the people patronize and people really interact with on a daily basis, and they create a lot of jobs and opportunities for the territory, and it's good to showcase those businesses so persons will see what they offer. They get a chance to really market themselves. I got emails, I got WhatsApps from persons asking us to vote for their businesses. So it's created some buzz and some attention to the businesses. So I commend you, Director, and the team, and I look forward for the week of activities. Thank you.
Thank you to the Honorable Marlon Penn for that great endorsement. Again, I have to say that I get to stand here, but I really have the best team ever. You heard that, media? I want you to say that trade staff really are just a good team that works on weekends, late in the nights. I just want to say thanks to you wonderful folks behind there, because I know that it's really taken a toll on a lot of us. Anyhow, we will talk a little bit about the week activities and an overview. We want to kind of set the tone for something that's very exciting. So even though our voices are a little hoarse, I can guarantee you the entire British Virgin Islands will be in for a treat. Our job is to really stimulate the economy, stimulate the market, get some energy going about businesses and getting your own businesses. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be our own boss. That's what I firmly believe. And so Premier and Honorable Madam Penn, again, thank you for this platform to do what I love. Well, Monday, of course, this is the official press conference, and we had the official endorsement from our Honorable Premier and the Junior Minister. Tomorrow, the action really starts. And so those three lovely persons that you see here, we are so grateful. We are extremely grateful for Banco Popular, First Bank, and National Bank of the Virgin Islands. I want to say thanks here, and you'll get your gratitude later on. But these banks understand our vision, and so we invited the banks to assist us in having our first business financial management seminar. From where I sit, we understand that the small businesses and the banks in the Virgin Islands have a relationship that needs to be a little nicer. And I believe it's because of ignorance. And so we are here to try to put a Band-Aid between the both. Most of us, when we go to the bank, it's like going to the dentist. We get nervous, we start to sweat. We don't want to ever hear no. We don't know if we could afford to get the loan payments. We struggle to pay the loans back. So this seminar really speaks to what to expect when you're going into the bank, what the banks are looking for from the business owners or potential business owners. It's supposed to be inspiring and really kind of elevate the fares. And we are very, very grateful for the three of you. So therefore, those are my premier. I don't have the power to endorse anybody, but I would say go to these banks because they have been so great and flexible. And we know that banking hours are horrible in their own right, and we can't say enough about the support that we've been given us. And so tomorrow, you will have an opportunity. I want to stress that it is free for anyone who has a business or who wants to have a business. Devote 2 hours of your time to UP Cineplex for our business financial management seminar. I think the most exciting part, at least for me, is that these three very illustrious individuals get to sit on a platform and get questions field to them from the audience and from myself on how we can create a freer spirit for entrepreneurs. And within that same day, we have a relationship with the Smart Business Academy, headed by Professor Devin Robinson out of Atlanta, Georgia, in the US. I just received a text from him. He's on his way down. We will be having a graduation. We have a year vigorous program, and so we have 15 graduates that will be recognized tomorrow as well. They went through an entire year and these are people that work. And so he came every month, and the rest of it was online. So 12 tough modules, and so we are going to celebrate them in a graduation tomorrow as well. And this starts at 9 a.m. sharp, and we believe that the business community has to understand business is money, so 9 a.m. sharp. We appreciate that the press will be there to help us cover that as well. On Wednesday, I think most of us are looking forward to that. We're having an open house. And for us, we wanted to do things out of the box. And so for us, an open house is not simply coming into the Department of Trade to see what is going on. We're literally taking our office outside. The entire staff will be outside. There will be notices. I think notices are already out there to say that the traffic will be slowed. We're not going to close off the road, but between Banco Popular, again, thank you, Ms. Alvaron Smith, for allowing us to kind of mess up your space, and she's been so very gracious. So between Banco Popular and the Sebastian building, the entire staff will be out there showing you what we do in a casual way. We believe that we have to go to the businesses, and so in our mind, it would be great for us to go outside. And so when people are walking around in town, stop by, free food, free music, free giveaways, and most importantly for us, free information. And so that's a part of fueling that entrepreneurial spirit and getting that excitement in the business community. I believe the Premier has said on many occasions, as long as we know that the small businesses and the medium-sized businesses are doing well, we know that the economy will be doing well. And so we're trying to do our part in that. Thursday, I believe this is our most anticipated day, the best of the BVI. So yes, Honorable Marlon Penn, we are going to try, and this is our first year, and so we know there'll be hiccups, and we can't please everyone, but we thought that we should have a award ceremony unlike no other. So we will have things like Best Trucker, And let me tell you, those trucking men, they are super excited. They're calling us, listen, this is how you spell my name. I need my name to be spelled right like this. We have best photographer, best contractor, the best banks. I wonder which one of y'all will win. The best banks. What we try to do is make sure that we chose categories that all of us use on an everyday basis so that the people can decide. Trade is not deciding this. The people decided who would be the best. And so there are 15 different categories, even the best cellular service. We all have cell phones, and so it will be very interesting to see who wins these categories. So y'all don't call me because I don't know. I'll be as surprised as everybody else. And so those 15 categories, we are elated with the response that thousands and thousands. I think that we and ourselves did not expect that wonderful response. So that again will be at UP Cineplex by invitation only though, but it's a grand gala and we're so excited to have that and show our love and support for the business community and to really say thanks. And on Friday, we're taking the action to Virgin Gorda, where we will have a maximize your marketing workshop for the businesses in Virgin Gorda. And so we know if you want to have a business that is successful, the most important thing is to market your business and brand your business. And to piggyback off of the Honorable Marlon Penn, COSME has been just a blessing to us because this is a very expensive endeavor. So the banks has helped us. COSME, she's actually flying in right now, Miss Diana Hendrickson Fleming. They are a full sponsor of this initiative too. And so they have sponsored, I think, 3 days fully out of this entire week. And so we will have a marketing agent from St. Martin coming over for the people of Virgin Gorda. So Virgin Gorda, we have not left you out. We're excited to have that. And that will be at the Village Cafe Dining Room starting at 10 o'clock. So you will leave with a belly full of information and literally a belly full as well. And of course, we also believe that if you want to continue to fuel the entrepreneurial spirit, you have to touch persons from the youngest of age. So we took a 2-week break in appreciation for Easter and the school holidays. And on the 20th of April, there will be an entrepreneurial school spirit competition. All of the secondary schools were invited to participate. This, again, is going to be something that's very exciting. Really, in a nutshell, the students were given seed monies of $200, very few money, and they are expected to recreate their uniform. The thing that all of the schools have in common is they all are required to wear a uniform. And so this is not only about fashion. This is about being able to sell and pitch your idea to the judges that will be sitting there and asking you questions. And so the winners of that competition will get an all-expense-paid trip to the USA for 4 days as a study visit to visit the University of Miami and Florida International University. We believe that we have to instill to our students from the very youngest of age the importance of being their own boss and the importance of not staying in the BVI just a little small dot. We have to be able to compete with the rest of the world. So in a nutshell, that is our very exciting week. I hope you guys have lots of questions because we are ready for the press. And I want to just put a little asterisk there. Our questions will be specific to trade. That's so. I think that's it for us in terms of the week of activities. Again, thanks to these wonderful sponsors, thanks to the Honorable Mayor, and thanks to the Honorable Junior Minister Marlon Penn for allowing us to really fly as Department of Trade and for the wonderful support staff that I have. Thank you guys very much. Questions?
All right, thank you. Good morning. Ken Silva with the BVI Beacon. Mr. Penn, you mentioned 3 initiatives of the Department of Trade. I was wondering if you can go into a little more detail about, you mentioned the department's initiative to put more emphasis on providing resources for business. You talked about this incubation center, and you talked about the investment promotion agency. Can you just go into a little more detail about what each of those 3 will be doing?
All right, thank you for that. That's the beacon, right? Yeah. Thanks for that question. Well, I'll start with the incubation, plan for the incubation center. Well, what we're looking at is to create sort of a shared co-working space for the business sectors and the entrepreneurs in the BVI. One of the challenges that entrepreneurs have expressed is that it's very expensive to have central office space. And it's the plan to have a shared space that could sort of cover the costs for most of the businesses. What we're expecting from that as well is to create the kind of collaborative environment that where each of the businesses got to support each other, work off each other, and work on initiatives together. We saw that firsthand in Eindhoven, where you had like a innovative incubation center. It's called Founded for All. And you see how the businesses are sort of feed off each other. It's sort of like not that they're competitors, but they're sort of a team working together. And that's the type of environment that I think we need to develop here in the territory to sort of drive that growth and they learn from each other and develop from each other. The investment portfolio agency is sort of having a structured approach to managing and implemented investments in the BVI. We have the hotel aid process, we have encouragement of industries and some other little pieces of legislation that speaks to investment, but there's no comprehensive or integrated legislative framework, and that is a process that we're trying to undertake right now to develop that concentrated legislative investment framework, as well as a unit that is dedicated for implementing and executing investment in the territory. We actually have a committee that has been established through Cabinet to actually revamp investment legislative framework, to develop new trade legislation, as well as to bring into play consumer protection legislation. So we're excited about that committee's report is due, I think, within 6 weeks. And then we'll have a policy paper that goes to Cabinet and start the process of drafting the actual legislation.
Nice, thank you. And I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but is there anything specifically that comes to mind in the current legislation that really needs updating?
We're looking at all avenues right now. I don't want to prejudice the process of the committee. I think they're working hard to look at all the concerns that were brought up by the business community. We have representatives from the yachting sector, construction, small business owners are represented on that committee. The Hotel and Commerce Association is a member of that committee as well. And we have the legal fraternity. So we have a wide scope of persons in the banking sector, actually. There are some bankers on that committee. So we were getting all the feed in from all aspects of the business sector.
Okay, nice. And lastly, you mentioned the policy report. Will that report be made public?
It will. We always make our reports public. We don't hide anything in this government. We don't. This government doesn't hide. All right. Despite popular belief.
Morning, Minister. Peter Gay Combs from JTV. You spoke about the Holland trip and briefly what you're seeking to gain from looking at Holland's business incubator system. But at the end of the day, in terms of tangibles, what exactly it is that the BVI wants to come away with in terms of deals, in terms of exchanges? What can you tell us in the interim?
Deal? So you can repeat in terms of deals?
In terms of agreements, maybe exchange programs, what can you tell us in the interim that you're working towards at the end?
Well, we've in the trip that we had just recently in Holland, we've had discussions with the persons who have established those incubators. So we were able to meet with the key persons behind those incubation programs. We had some discussions at a very senior level of those programs. So we're looking to see how we could sort of not reinvent the wheel, but sort of learn from the process that they've built and learn from the mistakes that they've made, so that we could have a more smooth transition in terms of implementing our own incubation center. We're already looking at potential locations in the central area in Rotown. We're thinking from along the lines, just broadly right now, from an innovative side, the tech side, we have a lot of process in the construction field. There's an opportunity to get those construction professionals all under one roof. It probably would help us in terms of how we engineer and develop the infrastructure in the territory. So there are a lot of things that we're thinking about right now in terms of how we could really maximize. I mean, it was really eye-opener to see how the businesses were able to thrive within this environment, and when you heard the stories when they started from one or two businesses to some of them have over 70 acres leased where they're developing for business development. So it's not just, it's branched off into hotel rooms, condos, the possibilities are endless. So we're very excited about the opportunity for us to really push this initiative forward to develop the business sector in the territory.
And a follow-up regarding your visit to Jamaica for the same experience, especially as it pertains to small businesses. What exactly are you looking to come away with from there, i.e. corporation, to strengthen small businesses here?
Yeah, we've already had discussions with JAMPRO, which is a Jamaican investment promotion agency. They've offered their full support. JAMPRO is actually now the chairman of CAIPA, which is the Caribbean Association for Investment Promotion Agency. So they've offered their unwavering support to us in terms of establishing our investment promotion agencies. They said they'll give us the technical support, they'll help us set up the structures and so forth. And they've been in the business for a very long time. I actually met with Minister Vaz, who's the Minister for Industry in Jamaica, and he also offered his support to assist us in the process. So we've kept that connection, and we have that support from CAIPA and from JAMPRO in the same.
Hi, Java Lambert from BVI Platinum. Ms. Christopher,
Yes, sir.
the activities that the department planned for this week, you commented and said that they plan to promote stimulation within the economy. How exactly would they contribute to
Okay. So, first of all, you need to be informed. And so I think a lot of us fail in business because of ignorance. And so for us, we needed to create a platform where I believe in having fun. Nobody wants to work and they're not enjoying their job. And so we believe that having fun, at least for the week, will allow persons to be interested in it. They will retain the knowledge. So all of the activities that we have planned, whether it's a business seminar, whether it's a competition, whether we endorse or say to the businesses out there that we appreciate them, that will give them the boost that is required to make the next step. Most of us are afraid to go into our business because the number one reason is fear. Number two is ignorance. And so we believe that this week we'll at least try to get a big percentage of the population to say there's no need to be fearful. This is a step that you can take, and all of us have heard no before. And our job is to make sure that you have the tools to be ready to get your own business. We'll take two more questions, I believe.
Okay. Good morning again. My last question, Ms. Christopher, you mentioned that this event is pretty costly. Do you have a number, how much this event costs?
I can tell you that we have a lot of sponsors. So
Okay.
it's not going to be able to detract too much from the government purses.
But no figures?
I'm not certain that I can say that figure, but we're good.
We're good, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So we want to say thanks to the sponsors again. Remember, we talked about all of the banks that are sponsoring and COSME. And of course, we are here because of the Premier's presence. And so the government understands that they have an obligation also to the business community, but we believe it's a collaborative effect and something that we should be one with the entire population of the BVI. So we have a lot of support in that endeavor. Okay, I think if that's all for the questions, I would like to say thank you so much to the Honorable Premier and the Honorable Junior Minister, to our three banks. We appreciate you again. I'm going to call your name all day. Banco Popular, First Bank, and National Bank of the Virgin Islands. And of course, we thank the press for giving us your time, and we appreciate that because we cannot get this done successfully if the press does not cover it. So we appreciate your time and your presence and your effort. Thank you all very much. Also GIS, thank you.